The Dallas Cowboys have just came out of the 2024 NFL Draft with a ton of prospects I deem to be high potential and high character guys, including guys like Guyton, Marshawn, Kneeland, Caelen, Carson, even Justin Rogers and Martist, Liufau, Cooper, Beebe. These are guys I really do like. Now, I know it's not the perfect draft class here that the Cowboys fans, wanted. However, in my opinion, I think sometimes you can't just have flashiness. You have to bring in the guys that really want to work, get better, and give yourself the most potential for the future and now. And I think that's exactly what they did. And for you guys who are doubting the draft class, in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about most of these guys, what they bring, who they are, and why I think this is actually an underrated draft class. Before we jump into that, comment down below a letter grade for the class. Also, comment down below your favorite pick, why he's your favorite pick, and without any further ado, let's break down the 2024 Dallas Cowboys draft class. Now, right off the bat, they decided to take Guyton with their first overall selection, and this was probably the one that made a lot of fans very skeptical about how the draft would go. But this is a guy who has been ascending throughout his collision career. He's got great traits, great tape, and he's projected to be or have a really bright future as a high-level pass protector in the NFL. This is a guy that you want on your football team. Not only does he play until the end of the whistle, but he also is a guy that has all of the confidence in himself as a player and thinks he could be one of the best in the NFL. This is the guy you just want on your football team. Get in the heads of opponents and make sure they know that he is going to bring his A game every single rep. In my opinion, he's a guy you just want on your football team. Boom, gets in the, oh my God, just absolutely demoralize that man. I mean, this dude has all the energy in the world, has all the athleticism and consideration for that left or even right tackle spot as well. He's got very impressive movement. His hands are very active, and in battle, he's amazing, right? He's fundamentally sound in pass slides. He's got good awareness to protect the B gap and twists. His length, his footwork make it so much easier for him to stay in front of his defender. This is a guy I think will be a very good tackle at the NFL level, and also a guy I have so much hope for in coming in here in Dallas and actually making some of the Cowboys fans who don't like the pick, I think they're going to regret it, because in a year or two, he will be a full-time tackle, a full-time player for you. Not only that, but he could be a tackle like a Tyron Smith, where he's here for the next decade and a half, being one of the best in the NFL. I love this one personally. Now, one of my favorite picks that they had actually came in the 5th round, and I don't mean to jump around, but he is actually one of my favorites. Now, Carson coming over here from Wake Forest is a guy who can play multiple different positions, but also fits really well as, a press man corner or even in cover 2 looks as well. This guy can be a dog, can go out there, great athletic ability, can make great catches like that one. In that man cover defense, right? I think this dude is going to be electric. You get him in the 5th round, and he is projected to be a day 1 starter. Maybe not for the Cowboys, but coming into the draft, this was a guy that was on the radar of a lot of NFL teams. He fell a little bit because of his injury history. Did miss the end of last season due to an injury. Has definitely missed a lot of time with injuries, right? So maybe not the most healthy guy in the world, but if this guy can stay healthy, he's going to come in right away and be a starter alongside, maybe not a starter, but you know what I mean. He can be a future starter alongside Trevon Diggs, Daron Bland, Jordan Lewis. I love the potential of Caelen Carson. We're going to break him down a little bit more and dive into his draft profile. But man, I think this is one of the biggest steals of the entire NFL draft. When you look at what he's done, what he can do, and when he's healthy, the production he has on the field, this man is an absolute dog, a unit. I am so glad the Cowboys were able to steal him. Let's talk a little bit about Caelen Carson. He's a cornerback out of Wake Forest, 6 foot, 199 pounds, basically 200 pounds, right? Is a senior, but also will eventually be an average starter, according to the NFL, right? Now, this is crazy. Now, what makes this crazy is the Dallas Cowboys are getting a starter, okay? They're getting a potential starter in the 6th round, basically. That is insane value. This is a guy I thought would go maybe late 3rd, early 4th. I thought this guy would be way gone by now. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys just got this man is unreal. Now, there is a little bit of an issue, right? In 2023, he led the team with 8 PBUs, started 11 games, 42 tackles, TFL, did have a forced fumble as well, but missed the season finale due to an injury. Again, missed the end of the season due to an injury, missed some time with an injury. He's a little bit injury prone if you can't tell. Now, a round 3 projected player, Christian Fulton NFL comparison, which isn't the best, but round 3 is what I'm saying. The Dallas Cowboys just found themselves an absolute stud here in the 5th or 6th round. I mean, unbelievable value, right? Now, Carson's game is most suitable for press, man, or cover 2 looks, although he's capable of handling most coverages. He doesn't have many steps under his belt as some prospects do, but some of his instincts and breaks of anticipation aren't fully focused yet, but he's going to continue to get better. Overall, the physical traits are ahead of the positional skills, but there is enough in place to project him as an eventual CB3 in the NFL. Again, you're getting a potential starter late in this draft. Checks in with adequate NFL size, good play strength, stiff 2-hand punch, slows receivers as a press corner. He's smooth, the stop and start footwork. He's got quick to diagnose combination routes from zone coverage, aggressive in his catch point, willing to strike ball carriers and pass catchers with equal force. Guys, this is a guy who doesn't care who you are, what team you're on. He's going to lay the wood. He's going to go for an interception. He's going to go for a forced fumble. He is the typical NFL corner. You add him to a team here in, Dallas, who has a bunch of corners, right? Jordan Lewis, Daron Bland, Trevon Diggs coming back as well here. You still have Deshaun Wright. I mean, they need a backup corner here, and now they get one. They get a potential starter as well. Last season, they were one of the best pass defenses in football. Did lose Dan Quinn and Joe Witt, but man, they have all the potential in the world. I love this pickup here of Caelen Carson. This is highway robbery in the draft again. Now guys, before we get any further into the video, make sure you guys do me a favor, hit that like button just so we can get this video out to more Cowboys fans around the world, but also subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything. We will be covering the Cowboys all year long, and if you guys do want the part 2 breakdown of guys like Justin Rogers and Cooper Beebe and Ryan Flournoy, I think that's how you say his name, Nathan Thomas, right? If you guys want some more breakdowns, comment down below part 2. Won't be able to fit everyone in this video, so if this video gets up to, let's say, 400 likes, we'll be dropping the part 2. With that being said, let's jump right back in. Marshawn, Kneeland, 6'3", 267 pounds, ran a 4.75 40-yard dash, one of the most athletic defensive end edge rushers in this year's NFL draft. This guy is a freak of nature, right? They say he's a good backup with potential to develop into a starter. I think he's a starter. I think this is a guy who can start right away. Maybe not right away, but very, very soon. I think he could be a big-time player. In 2023, he was second-team All-MAC, led the team with 4.5 sacks, played 10 games with 9 starts, 57 tackles, 7 TFLs, and 2 forced fumbles as well. When you look at his, overview here, he's a former high school tight end, and his open field agility can be seen when pursuing the football around the field. But listen, when he comes into Dallas, he is going to be a guy that uses his athleticism rather than fist fighting at the point of attack. He wants to get around the edge, scream. He's a little bit forceful. He's a forceful rusher with the relatively simple game plan. He does not, but he does have enough bend to diversify somewhat. There are somewhat mismatched pieces in his game, but he offers toughness and talent to mold. This is a guy that is a fierce competitor. He wants to win. He cares about the game of football over the other stuff like the ego, the money, the fame. He wants to play football. And this is a guy who can come in right away and be someone who just fits right in, right? Runs well with and possesses agility to fluidly change directions, plays with heavy hands and makes first hit count. Motor stays engaged. He's a down to chase the plays all over the field. This is a guy I really do like, and we look at the Dallas Cowboys defense right now. I think he's going to fit right in. Now, he doesn't need to be a day one starter. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, who is getting up there in age. They drafted Sam Williams a couple years ago in the second round. I think he's going to be someone who can just soak up knowledge from Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence right away. And again, I feel like Cowboys fans might be a little bit upset because they're not drafting day one starters. But at the end of the day, you did. Left tackle Tyler Guyton, I think, is going to be a day one starter, a massive pickup for their O-line, right? But I also think this defense is nasty. You have DeMarcus Lawrence, Mozzie Smith, you got Micah Parsons, Eric Kendricks, Damone Clark, Trevon Diggs, Daron Bland, Donovan Wilson. I mean, this defense is already stacked up, and to add even more depth, you can never go wrong adding an edge rusher who is going to be, mentored by a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence. I love this pick if I'm being completely honest here. You look at where they ranked last season, number 8 in QB sack percentage. I think he helps give some off-the-bench depth. This is a good pick in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is a very interesting selection. I'm not going to say he's going to be a day one starter because I really don't believe so, right? I'm going to keep it a $150 with you guys. This guy is a monster hitter, right? Actually, let's just break it down, right? 6'2", 234 pounds, senior out of Notre Dame. They've ranked him a 5.9, which is average backup or a special teamer. I think this is true to a certain extent, but I also believe he has potential to be a really good player in the NFL. I think they're actually sleeping on him a ton, right? But I think at the very least, he's going to be a really good backup, a really good depth add right away. But you go down to what he's done in 2023, 12 games, 44 tackles, 6 TFLs, 3 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble as well. Guys, overall, this dude is a baller. He loves, probably one of the biggest hitters in this year's draft. He's got endless energy, right? Endless energy, but a level of impatience that can occasionally pull him out of positioning, right? So that's the one thing you got to worry about with this dude is sometimes he overreacts, right? He doesn't stay patient. We got to figure out how to get him more patient, especially playing with this Dallas Cowboys team. I think they're going to do a fine level at doing that, right? He also plays with good short area bursts and willingness to step downhill and leverage his gaps, right? He offers third down value as a spot dropper with good field awareness and might even have enough man cover talent to line up over big slot targets from time to time as well. Now, I do think some of his, cons could prevent him from being a day one starter, obviously, but he's going to be a day one starter special teamer, and I think he's going to slowly work his way up. Let's just look at his strengths, right? Plays with good football IQ and good field awareness. If you get him a little bit more patient, I think he's going to be a dog, right? Plays with good violence in his hands to take on blocks, can scrape with squared pads and proper bend to access a burst to close in space. He's capable on spot drops and man coverage, always in good position, comes to balance and widens out as a tackler near the box. A really good hitter, and again, plays with that violence with his hands that he really wants to get it going. Now, when you look at this Dallas Cowboys team, especially in the linebacker core, you lose Van Andres, you bring in a veteran Eric Kendricks that can only help him get better, develop him going forward. I think that is huge. You also have Demarion Overshawn. I think he could take a major jump up. Marquise Bell, underrated. Damone Clark. I think their linebacker core is really good, so it doesn't force him to come in and be a day one starter, but it allows him to come in, develop, and get better, and show what he has on special teams, and that's exactly what they want him to do, right? Last year, they ranked pretty poorly in stopping the run, and I think he's a really good player with the awareness. If he can just get it going, find his potential, he's going to be really good for this Cowboys team. This could even be a steal. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the next Cowboys update. Peace.